I'd like to call the December 4th, 2025 Utilities Advisory Commission to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We do have 3 commissioners present today, so we do have a quorum. I'd like to move on to public comments. Since there is no one here from the public, for public comments, we will move on to the consent agenda. All matters listed within the consent agenda have been distributed to each member for study. These items are considered to be routine and will be enacted upon by one motion with no separate discussion. If separate discussion is desired on an item, that item may be removed from the consent agenda and placed on the regular agenda. Excuse me. Are there any items any members of the commission would like removed from the consent agenda? Seeing there is none, can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I motion.
Could I get a second?
I second.
Motion made by Commissioner Wallner, seconded by Commissioner Edwards. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. And we'll move on to old business. Seeing as there is no old business on the agenda, we'll move on to new business. Seeing as there's no new business on the agenda, we'll move on to discussion items. The number 1 item is introduction to the new Utilities Director, David Hunter. Welcome, David.
Thank you, and thank you for taking time out of your evening to have this meeting. I sure do appreciate it. The main idea with the meeting was kind of get you folks caught up. It's been a while since you've had a meeting, get your minutes caught up and stuff like that. And I want to give you a quick intro to myself. Dave Hunter, I'm from Auburn, Nebraska. I was general manager of the utilities in Auburn for almost 18 years. I really appreciate the opportunity coming to Gardner and getting a chance to see if I can help you folks out with your utility operations. It's going to be fun. You guys have got a lot of things going on. I enjoy those types of challenges. I just hope I can get caught up here in a short time and start bringing some positive things to the utilities. The one question I do have for you folks is let me know what you need for reports or what you want to see so I can get those generated so I can help you understand what we got going on, because there's a lot of things and it's fast. I'm kind of have to apologize even for this meeting. I'm really not real prepared because I haven't got myself up to speed to understand what's really everything going on. So, but I thought I'd give you a quick rundown of stuff that's kind of come to surface here recently. As you guys are well aware, the St. Clair, we're building a power line to the new lift station out west of town. On the St. Clair line, we've got a power line that we've got to build for that. Bruce is putting together the material list, and Bruce and I myself are looking at options on construction of that line. We've got a contractor looking at easements. We've got to get an easement for that line to be built, and we've already approved the contractor to start working on that easement portion of that. We have Evan and myself have KMEA coming in next week. We're going to do a little rate 101 with KMEA, get a better understanding how our power bills from KMEA are calculated and put together. And I did attend one meeting with KMEA, and I'll give you a little information. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this stuff before, but it's kind of interesting. But this is the information that kind of drives our power bills. Once we get this stuff handed out, I'll see if I can maybe try to explain it a little bit better. What I just handed you was our November resources. This is the resources where the city of Gardner received their power. It's our power plants, wind generation, and hydro sources. And if you look at the October report, which is the first one I handed you, and go to the second page, and to me the big key is if you look up there in the top corner in the center, it says billing cost, load KWH, and it was about 5 cents, 0.05. That's what it cost the city of Gardner to get power that month. That was our cost. And then if you look at the November sheet, second page, same area, you can see that jumped up to almost 7.5 cents in 1 month. So 2 cent increase. And that is how vulnerable our power bills are tied to our resources, which is the different power plants that generate electricity. And what drove that cost increase in November was the Dogwood power plant went into an outage. They went into a maintenance outage, shut down. And if you look at this graph that I handed out to you, I'll come around and help because it's kind of tough to understand. No, you're fine. You can see here towards the end, that's Dogwood generation. We had no Dogwood generation towards the end of that time period, right here. See, this is Dogwood, no Dogwood. It's shut down for outage. That's Dogwood generating, no Dogwood. That's what drove that power cost, or the majority of the increase in that power cost is just Dogwood shutting down for maintenance. That shows you how vulnerable each resource is in our power mix. And that's something we got to kind of watch. And that's something we got to kind of keep an eye on. We're going to see a little bit of that going into December, but it should level out pretty much in January because they're going to come out of their outage, their maintenance outage. We'll get Dogwood back online. So we'll have that resource will be back.
So it usually, for maintenance, is out for about a month?
Yes. They had a scheduled outage for just a little over a month. And the thing that's Dogwood, as you guys may be well aware of, is a gas plant. It runs on natural gas. Well, our dilemma is now, I don't know if any of you heard on the radio today, but gas prices hit a big spike. Cold weather, it come back down a little bit. But long range forecasts, gas is supposed to continue to increase most of the winter. So we just have to watch those things because we set a rate once a year based on assumptions. And then when the ball gets out of the curve or the train jumps the track, and that's kind of what we have here, the train jumped the crack, it impacts our power cost. So we just have to keep an eye on it.
Is there anything we can do to mitigate that, or is that just something we just have to deal with? But they know it got shut down, so is it just something we just deal with?
Yeah, it's just part of long range planning. I mean, Dogwood didn't shut down overnight. They knew they were going to shut it down. We knew kind of what we were going into, but it just shows you the vulnerability of losing one resource. Now, the catch is, what if it shuts down unknown? That's where you got to have a backup plan to some extent, or we're going to have to figure something out, because anything we go do now on the market is going to be expensive. And that's what happened to us in November. We had to go to the market and buy that power that Dogwood was not generating anymore. So we went to the market and our power costs went up.
So what would be the solution?
Well, the solution is having good resources that you can fall back on. Part of your solution is your power plant that you have here. I mean, it's not an inexpensive resource, but it is a resource we can reach to.
So this was a scheduled maintenance.
This was a scheduled maintenance, yes.
So we should have had the power source available to us.
Well, what our option was, the most cost feasible option when this went down was just go to the market and buy power. But even going to the market buying power, we've seen this increase. And that's why we've got to do long-range planning, long-range forecasting for rates and those sort of things. Because in theory, our rates are at a level like this, making the assumption our power costs are running here, and then we get this spike. You know, we're not covering our cost. You know, it's just like anything at your home. Price of bread goes up, your budget goes to heck. Price of electricity goes up, my budget goes to heck.
And these increased costs are passed on to the consumer.
Not right now. This cost right now is our cost. I don't want to say we're eating the cost, but we're not changing rates to adjust for this cost.
Okay.
But that's where our reserves and some of that stuff comes in hand. We set funding aside for these rainy days, and we had a rainy day, had a rainy month.
That was gonna be my question, was do we absorb it or?
Yeah,
do we pass it on?
we just absorb it. But I'm going to try to keep you guys informed with these kind of reports and bring these to you, and we'll kind of track this together because it's a different environment buying electricity. And Gons had done a very good job in the past. You guys have done a good job in the past of a variation of resources and getting things put together. But you know, you got a good car, it's running well. We had a hiccup, we blew a tire, we had to go buy a tire. That's kind of where we're at.
Well, I also have a request. Whenever you have these reports like this, if we could have it on the system so that the consumers who are watching the commission meeting can
Yeah.
see these reports also.
Nope, we can do that. I will apologize for that. I'm trying to get my head above water, and I just hadn't figured all the pieces of the puzzle yet. Anyway, KMA. We've got a contractor for sub 4. Those bids are out. We've got a recommendation from our engineering for that contractor. We're looking roughly, I don't want to get the numbers out there too far because we haven't approved them yet. We haven't really dug into them, but we're looking at about a $2 million project for sub 4 contractor's work. The council here at the last meeting approved moving forward with a 60% design on the intake structure for the water treatment plant. That design advancement to 60% was due to trying to get better bids. From what I understand, we went out for bids earlier and they were way out of budget range or engineering estimates. And so it was the consensus to do a little bit more design work, get things tightened up a little bit better, and get that done and go back out for bids again for that intake structure project.
When do you think you'll be doing that?
I would say we're probably 6 months out for that 60%, 6-7 months out for that 60% design. So I would say summer. We'll be bringing that to you guys to move forward. Staff is working on the bid specs for Unit 1 to do the improvements to generator Unit 1, just like you guys did to Unit 2 last year. We're working on those bid specs. We'll be bringing those guys to you guys for approval to go out for bids on that project. Hopefully, we can tighten those specs up a little bit more so we don't get so many surprises like we did in the last project. and we'll see what we can put together and move forward with that. Our new service center building, they're working on drywall right now. From what I understand, that project's roughly about 2 weeks behind, which is not too bad. They might be able to make that up, but I think we're looking about a mid-March for opening the doors there.
I've noticed it's been quite an improvement. I mean, it's really gone up fast, I think.
We are working on ordering furniture, trying to get those numbers nailed down. We have went ahead and purchased the appliances for the building. We bought those on Black Friday to try to save a little money. So we got a couple refrigerators, dishwasher, and some other small appliances. So we're trying to get things put together, and we're looking forward to moving in. I'm sure you're familiar with the reliability report that Gons used to bring us. Reliability. APPA has switched software packages on that, and we are learning how to operate and run that. We're hoping we'll have that figured out here this month, and so we'll start again with those reports at the next meeting.
But the same definitions will be present. We'll have the same definitions.
Yes, yeah. There's nothing really going to change. It's just we have to go back and do some more work in that software because it's looking at things a little bit different, and we got to go in there and tie those pieces together. Plus, we've got a little bit of a learning curve here how to get the reports out. So
Okay.
it's kind of a shocker, and we're trying to get caught up on that. I did get a request from city to look at our fees for 2026, and that's what we're working on right now is our fee schedule. So as soon as we get that put together, we'll get that to you guys to look at too. Wastewater treatment plant. Shortly after I got here, we had a failure of the aeration equipment for the ditch. Aeration ditch equipment. We did go ahead. City Council approved that equipment. We've got it ordered. We're hoping it'll show up here in a couple weeks. We can get that put in. I think that, and I know I do. Gotta find it. Yeah. We went with environmental process equipment. That was about $100,000 improvement. Unexpected expense for the wastewater treatment plant. The new wastewater treatment plant construction is moving along great. No hiccups, no problems. I'm not up to speed on it exactly when the completion date is on that, but Scott's advised me that everything's going good out there. Probably one of our priorities I'm going to work on, and we're going to start getting you some reports so you can understand, is our infiltration problem with the sewer system. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that, but we apparently have quite a bit of unnecessary flows getting into the wastewater treatment plant collection system. Those additional flows go into the sewer system, which help overload everything. That's part of the reason your wastewater treatment plant's the size it is. You've got growth and development going on, but we also have a good chunk of water that's coming in there that's unaccounted for. And we're going to try to start cranking down and trying to understand where that water's coming from and what those volumes are.
Is that the process where they were trying to coat the I thought they finished that project.
No, it hasn't even, from what I understand, we haven't even made a good start yet.
Have they identified at least the community, the areas in the city where they're going to start?
Not 100%. That's what we're going to start working on. That's going to be one of our priorities, is trying to get this thing nailed down. I think the first thing we need to do is try to understand what the exact volume is. How much of this is what we call infiltration, is not billing units. It's, sump pumps and houses, rainwater, what it is. Get those volumes. Because that, honestly, bottom line, we have to account for it when we treat it. So it rolls, that infiltration water rolls right back into the customer's rate. If we can eliminate that, we can help bring, it's a misnomer, we can help bring rates down. Well, actually what we'll do is we'll slow rate increases if we can start getting a handle on it.
So I think that is hopefully one of your high priorities.
It is. I would like, as we get going and the weather gets nicer, try to see if we can move some meetings and get you folks out to the wastewater treatment plant, get you to the water plant. I don't know if any of you've ever been to any of those facilities, but I think that would be advantageous if we can get you guys out there. You can get hands-on, see what's going on, what we got going on
I've been
behind
out
us.
there, but I always enjoy going
I
back.
would enjoy that immensely.
So we'll see, wait till the weather gets a little nicer and we'll see what we can do. I would like to have a couple meetings at the new service center. I think if we can get it set up, but we'll look into that if that's all right with you guys. And
Yeah, we
give
would
you-
like a tour of that also.
get two birds with one stone
Yeah.
type scenario. Other than that, if you guys, my door is always open. I'm there early in the morning. I usually in there by 5. So if you guys need something, feel free to stop by anytime. Feel free to give me a call. But as we progress here, if you see something you need, report you want, or have questions about anything, please give me a call. I enjoy education.
If you could send us an email with your email address and
I can
phone
sure do
number,
that.
because there are some reports that I would like to see, but I'd rather email you the reports that I would like to see.
Nope, that's great.
Is that good?
Oh, absolutely,
Okay.
yes, absolutely.
Okay, we can do that. Is there anything, questions for me or concerns?
Are there any questions?
No.
No.
I don't think so.
Well, thank you.
Thank you and welcome.
Yes, well,
If there's no other items to discuss, does anyone have any other business to discuss? Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn.
I'll
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Motion made by Edwards, seconded by Waller to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.